Good morning, wonderful people, and you watching from diaspora or within Nigeria. This is News Panorama from Bababagide Imo Television. My name is Mori Rabila Lawal. It's a day again where we'll bring to you all of the news bulletins, news stories from Monday till Saturday. And on the first page here, the first story we brought to you as regards the Nigeria National Drug Law Enforcement Agency said it seized 14,481 519 pills of hard drugs with a street value of 13 billion naira in Amuwodofin and Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Ikeja. The agency also arrested no fewer than 10 suspects, among which were 3 blind men and 1 businessman, among others, for allegedly trafficking drugs. The NDLEA Director of Media and Advocacy, Femi Babafemi, disclosed these in a statement which we brought to you. And the most shocking about it is the 3 blind men who engages in this drug trafficking in Nigeria. What a shameful act concerning what they look like when it comes to health challenges. And on the next story on Monday, which we brought to you as regards the beef and the feud between BUA Company and Dangote, which we said Dangote and BUA are 2 of the largest business entities in Nigeria, and they are also 2 of the biggest rivals in the cement and sugar industry. The rivalry between the 2 groups is intense, and it has been playing out in the court, in the media, and even on the streets. Dangote Cement is the largest cement producer in Nigeria with a market share of over 60%. BUA Cement is the second largest producer with a market share of around 20%. The rivalry between the 2 cement companies began in 2008 when BUA Cement entered the market. BUA Cement quickly established itself as a major competitor to Dangote Cement, and it began to gain market share. On the other side, Dangote Sugar Refinery is the largest in Nigeria with a market share of over 70%, with BUA's following closely with a market share of around 20%. In 2020, the rivalry between the 2 companies began when BUA Cement accused Dangote Cement of blocking access to its Milestones quarry in Edo State. The rivalry between the sugar businesses was intensified in 2014 when BUA Sugar Refinery entered the market. BUA quickly established itself as a major competitor to Dangote, as we brought to you. And also, there is another BUA Sugar Refinery alleged that thugs destroyed property and injured workers. Dangote Sugar Refinery denied the allegations, but BUA Sugar Refinery has provided evidence to support its claims. The matter is currently under investigation by the police. We brought this to you. And it went through the week again that yes, there was this concern from the northern elders calling the 2 able sons leading the business entities in Nigeria. Apart from being from the north, they also feed all of the nation as regards what they produce, because on a daily basis, you won't tell me there is no family buying something produced by Dangote. Moving on to the next story as regards on Tuesday, like we brought to you concerning the falling of dollar to Naira and also the increase of the percentage share of Naira to the dollar itself. Former CBN Governor Lamido Sanusi has sent an important message to the Governor of the CBN, Yemi Cardozo. Sanusi called on the Apex Bank to find a solution to the rising inflation rate, which is now at over 17-year high. The message from Sanusi was well received by Cardozo, and he replied with promises while listing his action plans. Lamido Sanusi, former CBN governor, told Cardozo on how he could go ahead to handle the inflation rate going on or soaring high in the country. Sanusi gave this advice when he visited the CBN headquarters in the company of Ibukun Awoshika, chairperson of the Impact Investing Advisory Board. During the visit, Sanusi called for long-term planning and urged fiscal authorities to prioritize agriculture and education, particularly for girls. The former CBN governor call came at a time when inflation in Nigeria stood at 26.72% as of September 2023. While all of this news came out on their very days which we brought to you, we gladly need to tell you or remind you that as regards the election going on today in Imo, Bayelsa and Kogi State, so many things happened before today's election proper. Coming from the story, when it comes to that side, I will surely bring it to you. But going on to the next story from Tuesday is the Naira to dollar. The Naira continued its free fall against the dollar on Tuesday, depreciating to 1,080 Naira to $1 in the parallel market. This is 4.85% decline when compared to the 1,030 Naira it traded on Monday. It is also day 2 of the Naira losing momentum after going on a bull run towards the end of last week after news broke that the CBN, that's Central Bank of Nigeria CBN, had begun to clear some of its FX backlogs since closing trading at 950 Naira to $1 on Friday, that's last week Friday, upper one. The Naira has depreciated by 13.68%, losing 130 Naira of its value against the dollar. According to Bureau de Change operators, it traded between 1,600 to $1 and 1,095 Naira to $1 on Tuesday. Moving on to stories on Tuesday, if we still have them, but we're only bringing this panorama concerning what we feel you should get to know as of this weekend Sunday. And on Wednesday, the suspended CBN governor, who happens to be Godwin Emefiele, after the DSS released him, he was taken up by the EFCC, and our court has been asking the EFCC to present him to court or probably charge him before the court. So the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has produced the detained former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, before an Abuja High Court sitting at Maitama. Justice Olukayode Adeniyi had in a ruling on November 2nd ordered the anti-graft agency to either release the elsewhere boss of the Apex Bank, who has been in detention since June 9th, unconditionally, or produce him in court to be granted bail. However, the agency failed to comply with the order when the matter came up for hearing last Monday. Emefiele's lawyer, however, Mr. Matthew Bokar San, had complained to the court that EFCC flouted both orders. Bokar San bemoaned that the agency spurned the directive of the court, even though it was properly served with order. Not forgetting that, yes, a day after it, we later brought to you that the suspended CBN governor, Godwin Emefiele, eventually got a bail grant, and he was authorized to drop all of his international passports to the court before he could have them, and meeting up with the conditions attached to his bail fund. You're still watching the news panorama from Baba Gbagede Imo Television. Before we go on to the next Wednesday story, which came up from the Mommy Calm Down, an unfortunate story which happened from the mom, let's quickly have a short break, and when we come back, we continue from there. Yeah, we all remember the video which went viral and caught the attention of the governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, Mommy Calm Down. It was a shocking release news that came up. The woman, Toluigbe Obabalola, the mother whose son, Oreofeoluwa Lawal Babalola, became an internet sensation with the Mommy Calm Down video, as reportedly committed suicide. Oreofeoluwa Lawal was only 4 years old when he became a Twitter sensation in 2020 after a video went viral of him begging his mom, Mrs. Babalola, to calm down when she wanted to beat him for something he had done wrong. The viral video caught the attention of the Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu. After that viral video, young Lawal landed a cameo role in Kunle Afolayan's Swallow movie. Despite the initial attention, the family's life took a dark turn. A recent report revealed that Mrs. Babalola had been grappling with undisclosed problems, choosing to keep her struggles to herself. We brought to you that she left behind her husband, a taxi driver, and 3 children, including the internet-famous Mommy Calm Down boy. The news of her death surfaced on the microblogging site X, formerly Twitter, shared by a user named Samuel. In a heartbreaking post, Samuel disclosed that Mrs. Babalola had taken her own life without reaching out to anyone for help. And also, the Edo State Police Command confirmed the woman's death, stating that her husband is in custody and under investigation. Confirming the demise in the chat, the Edo State Police Public Relations Officer said the deceased husband reported the incident, claiming to have discovered his wife hanging upon return from the market. The police spokesperson quoted the husband as saying that he came back home from the market when he saw his wife hanging with a rope on her neck. Another story came up the following day where the neighbors who the husband claimed he called their attention to come witness what is happening and to help him take his wife to the nearest hospital, denied that they ever helped him removing the ropes from the neck of the wife. And at least he's been taken to the custody for investigation, and possibly he could be able, or he should be able, to speak about the truth, the original thing that happened to the wife by passing away from the world, and also if truly he has anything as regards the death of the wife. We also brought to you on Thursday from the election which is ongoing in Rivers, beg your pardon, in Bayelsa, Imo and Kogi, which by now the results should be out, if possible, by Monday, if the need be, or probably we have any of our hands on the result of the election. It was a promising note that a total of 5.2 million voters will file out on November 11, 2023 to elect governors in Bayelsa State, which came up yesterday. And Imo, Bayelsa and Kogi and examines the level of preparation of the electoral umpire in the National Electoral Commission as in November 11 governorship election in the 3 states draws nearer. A total of 5 million registered votes in the 3 states are gearing up to elect new chief executive officers of the 3 states. And we'd like to tell you, as regards today, which is Sunday, the results are coming out, but we can't say probably these are the parties bringing up the winning note. But all the same, in particular from Imo State, we got information that yes, the APC is winning almost from all of the local government. But until the INEC prepares the final result sheet before we can lay our hands to say this is the party that has won the election. But on a promising note, as regards the INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, on Thursday, he came out to say that quarterly consultative meeting with leaders of political parties last week also revealed that there are 2 polling units in Bayelsa State and 38 in Imo State without registered voters, and as such, elections will not take place in the said polling units, the list of which he said was available on the Commission's website. Also, election results will be collated in 649 registration areas, wards, 56 local government area, and 3 state collation centers. According to him, this gives a cumulative figure of 11,178 voting and collation locations to deploy security personnel in the 3 states. These are the information that came as regards the election that went on yesterday in Imo, Kogi, and Bayelsa states. Moving on from that story, which we brought to you, there is this story of the labor union that went ahead to the Atiku International Airport in Abuja. Passengers at the airport have been left stranded following a protest at the airport on Thursday. The unions initiated the protest at the entry and exit ways of the Atiku International Airport after they were stopped from entering the airport by the military. Recall that on Wednesday, aviation unions directed their workers to withdraw services to all Owerri flights from all airports in Nigeria in line with the directive from organized labor. The protest action initiated by the NLC and TUC is believed to be a response to the recent alleged attack on NLC President Joe Ajaero in Imo State a few days before. The unions had declared nationwide industrial action starting on Tuesday, November 14. Meanwhile, a build-up to the governorship election in Imo State, the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has deployed a new Commissioner of Police to Imo State, at least to quench any unforeseen trouble that might come up. Yes, let me check if we still have a story coming on Thursday from our Panorama program. Yes, we have this one coming. There is this staff member of Dangote refinery who was tragically hit and on a hit-and-run accident in the Bejuleki area of Lagos State on Thursday. Information gathered that the victim was walking along Gulf bus stop along Lekki Ekpe Expressway when the yet-to-be-identified driver rammed into him and sped away. Attempt to apprehend the driver proved abortive as he was able to abscond in his vehicle before the crowd could catch up with him. When the driver looked from his car and saw that the accident appeared fatal and that the man didn't move at all on the ground, he quickly turned his vehicle around and sped off. Unfortunately, no one was able to chase him because he was at the top speed. He added that information when policemen from Elemero police station came to cleared the body that the saw his ID card on him, identified him to be a member of staff of Dangote Cement. His name was Joseph Ame, and he was only 39 years old. May all of this get to an end totally. Moving on to the Friday stories on News Panorama from Bababagide Imo Television. There was this tragic incident that happened in Taraba State where a student stabbed his teacher to death. The Taraba State chapter of the Nigerian Union of Teachers (NUT) has demanded the immediate arrest of those behind the gruesome murder of secondary school teacher Basi Sedelna Unkukwe. The union's demand was contained in a statement signed by its chairman, Nathan Solomon. According to Solomon, NUT is saddened by the ugly development and calls on the state government to take proactive measures against the future occurrence of such barbaric acts. How on earth can you think of a student doing such acts to his teacher? Those days we understand the fact that yes, the teachers are the second parent to teachers, and possibly they are very second home to get learning the way it ought to be. And before we call it a wrap on the News Panorama from BGI Television this Sunday, I'd like to go on a short break. I'll be back before rounding up. Welcome back on the News Panorama from BGI TV. The next one is the rift between the River State Governor Siminalayi Fubara. On Thursday said his predecessor and Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, remains his principal. The governor stated this in Port Harcourt, River State, on Thursday that the rededication service of the 2023-2024 legal year of the River State Judiciary that was equally attended by Wike. The event was held at the St. Cyprian's Anglican Church, Hospital Road in the state capital. The moment Governor Fubara and Wike met at the rededication service of the session legal year at the St. Cyprian's Church in River State, it was the first time both politicians will be meeting in public since the political crisis in the state. He described the recent political crisis in the state as a thing of the past, calling again for peace in the oil-rich state. Fubara noted that River State can, if the actors and the supporters are peaceful. My Oga remains my Oga. Whatever that happened in the past is in the past. I have not sent anybody to malign anybody, the governor said. He said that although it has been a trying time for the state, the current phase of political misunderstanding will pass, and the promises his administration made to the people will be delivered. The governor also warned those pledging support for him to stop using abusive words on perceived opponents, saying that he did not authorize them to malign anybody. According to him, in trying to attain development, the devil will always attack, but that what is most important is to identify the devil and push it out. It was the first time they are meeting in public. Wike, who is the FCT minister, arrived at the church service almost at the end and had a handshake with his successor before sitting on the same row with him while the service lasted. At the start of his speech, Governor Fubara jokingly appealed to the congregants to suspend the recognition of guests in order not to commit another impeachable offense. What's a wisdom? And aside that, we'd like to tell you that there was this story that came from the presidency mourning the first female brigadier general, if I'm correct, with the military rank of the woman who passes away, and it was learned that the presidency, that the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, gave his condolence to the family of the late first woman of intelligence of entity to the Nigerian force as a whole. And also, we still need to go on with some other stories as regards the Canadian embassy, which got burnt. After this very story, we'll bring the Kale's story that died a few days back. And also, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has sympathized with Canadian government, diplomatic community, and all persons affected by a fire incident which occurred on Monday at the Canadian High Commission in Abuja. The president, in a statement by his spokesman, Ajuri Ngelale, assured the Canadian authorities of the full support of the Nigerian government in the aid of diplomatic and local staff of the High Commission who were particularly affected by the incident. President Tinubu prayed for the repose of the departed souls and wishes all injured persons a rapid and full recovery. And according to this story, it got to the public that yes, indeed, it was a generating set that was having an issue, and they were trying to fix it before it got fire, and immediately took the life of 2 engineers that were on the generating set that very moment. And the president has particularly given his condolences to the family affected and to the Canadian authorities who are having their embassy in Nigeria. And also, I'd like to bring again another story which the president himself condoles with Moroccan monarch over earthquake in the country. Aside that, before we go on that, if time permits us, let's bring our own story. Major General, not Brigadier General, I beg your pardon, Major General who passes away. And the story has it that President Bola Tinubu on Friday described the death of Nigeria's first female Major General Aderunke Kale as a painful loss to the country. Kale, also the first female commander of the Nigeria Army Medical Corps, died on Thursday at the age of 84. Tinubu, in a condolence statement signed by the Special Advisor, Media and Publicity, Chief Ajuri Ngelale, also sympathized with the Kale family, the Nigerian Army, and the Society of Medical Practitioners in Nigeria on the passing away of one of their own. Tinubu stated that as a pioneer in our field, the late Major General embodied the courage, professionalism, capacity, and resilience of the Nigerian woman. The president prayed for the repose of the soul of the late officer and encouraged our beloved family to take solace in the peerless legacy she left behind. We also brought to you as regards the arrest the Nigerian police force made with a man where he claimed that yes, he usually gets body part from pastors. Where are we going in this country? In case you're just joining, you are watching the Panorama, News Panorama from BGI Television. It kept on coming that yes, the religious fathers we seem to give respect and kudos to are the one doing the bastardly act and barbaric act, whichever way you want to term it to be. Because I see no reason why they should be the one engaging themselves in all of these stories like that. It's not a wonderful thing per se, and this is Alpha. We can call it a wrap on the News Panorama this hour. But before we go, if we still have 2 or a news story to bring to your watching view, or at least viewing pleasure. Today is a weekend, another beginning of a new week concerning what has happened in the past week. Let's quickly have this short time out. I'll be right back. We also have a story which happened yesterday for the election in Bayelsa State. Particularly, let's base it on Bayelsa State, where the caption is, "Stay away from Bayelsa election. PDP tells APC national chair." Bayelsa State Chapter of the People's Democratic Party has strongly condemned the planned visit of the National Chairman of the All Progressive Congress (APC), Abdullahi Ganduje, to the state less than 24 hours to Saturday's governorship poll. The PDP said the visit will exacerbate the already tense security situation in the state. And also, Mr. Ebie Ogoli, the PDP Publicity Secretary, said the party is at a loss and shocked that Mr. Ganduje plans to visit the state when the INEC stipulated period for campaigns by political parties elapsed midnight of Thursday, November 9, 2023. PDP also noted that the APC National Chairman is not an international or local observer accredited for Saturday's election. Neither is he coming to cast his ballot in Bayelsa, being a registered voter in faraway Kano State. This story brought so many questions to the public, in which it was stated that yes, why is Ganduje visiting the states when it violates the rules and guidelines of INEC concerning election in the state. We'll move away from that, even though the election was done yesterday, Saturday. The result, we can't possibly say out the exact winners yet because we are not INEC officials. Moving on to the next one, Afenifere ripped the pins as Fasorotti flees Adebanjo over attack on Supreme. Supreme Court's affirmation of the victory of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the February 25th, 2023 election has further deepened the rift between Pa Ayo Adebanjo and Pa Ruben Fasoroti's Afenifere group, as both sides have taken different positions on the Apex Court verdict. While the Adebanjo's faction, in a statement signed by Shola Ebiseni Sheni, said it viewed with dismay the court's ratification of Tinubu's victory, a counter statement signed by Abagun Kole or Molulu, the organizing secretary of Fashion-led Afenifere, as information disclaimed the position of the Adebanjo's faction, saying such position is far from the truth about Afenifere's leadership position on Tinubu's victory. Omololu said it is merely an unfortunate misadventure of some Labour Party element within the Afenifere fold who would rather drag the body's reputation in the mud to achieve whatever sinister and sentencious end they might have concocted. Omololu added that Fashion-Roti had earlier congratulated Tinubu as Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces on his election into office, and also expressed solidarity over his victory at the Apex Courts. All of the stories got last week very, very burning. And also the hardship in Nigeria got so many people selling their cars, and as they can't be able, or they find it so difficult to find themselves having 3 square meals, or not even 3 square meals, maybe 101. People find it difficult as Nigeria yearns for more things from the government. That yes, truly, Nigerians are going through hell in the country, going through a very huge moment as regards the economic hardship in the country. It's a very complicated stories that yes, Nigeria is having this economic outlook as we have some stories that yes, some are even giving us encouragement that yes, as regards the reform activities ongoing in the country that the president is doing, there are some international bodies looking at Nigeria come January 2024 to have a very smooth sailing administration in terms of economy, in terms of education, in terms of security, as well, the recent visit of the president to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, where the president met with the king himself, and they had this bilateral agreement and talks which can help to improve lives in Nigeria. I'd like to bring the story to you again, that yes, the president had a very good talk with the Saudi Kingdom, and it came with a sweet one that yes, your investment in Nigeria is guaranteed that yes, you can start coming to Nigeria to invest more concerning the ones you have been doing from the talks. And this came 2 days ago. And after the meeting, we also brought to you that the Saudi Kingdom promises to bring more investment and more aid to the country. Let's bring the story to you. President Bola Tinubu arrived in Riyadh, the Saudi Arabian capital, to attend the Saudi Africa Summit Tinubu arrived the Middle Eastern country on Thursday as part of efforts to attract foreign direct investment and mobilize capital to build needed infrastructure, Nigerian Ngelale presidential spokesperson said. Discussions at the first Saudi Africa summit will revolve around supporting joint action, enhancing political coordination, facilitating economic transformation through research, and the local development of new energy solutions, all while bolstering cross-sectional investment cooperation. Tinubu has been pushing for more investment to revive an economy weakened by double-digit inflation, foreign currency shortages, a crumbling local currency, widespread insecurity, and crude oil thefts, which are ongoing in Nigeria. All of these are stories we brought to you that happened while at the G20 summit also in India earlier in September. The president assured investors that Nigeria will become one of the most conducive places on earth for foreign investment, saying it would ensure that bottlenecks are removed and investors thrive in the country. Also, at the United Nations General Assembly in New York, the Nigerian leader asked investors to prioritize Africa's development, saying the goal should be a partnership that would be beneficial to all parties instead of an exploitation. Some of the officials accompanying Tinubu to the Saudi Arabia summit include Yusuf Tuga, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Tahir Mumma, Minister of Education, and Wale Edu, Coordinating Minister of Economy and Minister of Finance. Okay, before we call it a wrap, as regards the electricity hike and the fluctuation going on in the country as regards the electricity tariff increase, the Minister for Power, Labu, Minister of Power, says President Bola Tinubu recently stopped the increase in electricity tariff and insisted on the payment of subsidy on power consumed nationwide. Adedibo disclosed this at the news conference in Abuja on Wednesday. He also said the federal government would investigate the legality of the 5-year license extension given to privatized power distribution and generation companies, stressing that the operating licenses of the firms would have expired on October 31st, 2023. The minister also threatened to sack any non-performing chief executives in agencies under the Power Ministry if their non-performance would put his job at risk. We need to work together in Nigeria. We need to put all hands on deck in Nigeria. We need to fight against this menace called, what is it called again? This public demon bringing our economy backward, corruption. We need to deal with it. All of these artisans' actions we get from people in power accumulating funds which ought to go to their respective constituencies. All of these things need to get stopped. News Panorama is a program that brings up-to-date from Monday till Saturday stories from BGI Television. Let's meet again next Sunday. My name is Morire Rabila Lawal. Have a wonderful time. And before you go, our channels for you to meet up with on YouTube, the handle is Baba Bagede Imo Television. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell, select option all to access all of our broadcasts. On Facebook, Bagede Imo with Alawiye Adebayo. Please like and follow the page. For advert placement of your goods and services, coverage of events and function, please dial the phone number streaming on your screen. Thank you for watching. I am Morire Rabila Lawal. Have a wonderful time.